Alrighty, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Bojan Petreski. Today is June 7th, 2022. This is the 3D market commentary. The disclaimer is there for your use and your understanding that this is for educational and instructional purposes only. We'll be getting started in just a few seconds here while that runs through. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday morning for me, afternoon or evening for the rest of you. All right, so this is what the 3D market commentary would look like in your inbox Monday through Friday. It is when it's being generated. We call it a 3D market commentary because we utilize a three-dimensional approach. That three-dimensional approach is the market climate, buy and sell UFOs, and market volatility. All right, the first one on our list here, the market climate, that is also represented by our indicator down here below. It is what is giving us the upcoming market direction, whether we should be looking for long or short opportunities, or if we should be looking for opportunities elsewhere. The buy and sell UFOs, the unfilled orders that are responsible for upcoming turning points, entries and exits, unmistakably named UFOs because they do look like flying saucers on our charts here. And of course, market volatility, the upcoming price change speed, whether or not we should be adjusting our risk to reward ratio based on how quickly that particular market is moving. Of course, you can get all of this with your free membership with no credit card required, as it says down here below. So head on to tradewithufos.com/news/, or if you had a chance to scan that QR code when the presentation was loading, that'll get you access to the information that we will be sharing today. All right, so let's go ahead and analyze the first market for the day here, which is the S&P 500. As we see right now, the current market climate, as of the generation of this news flash, it was up. However, if we go into and look at it in the live chart, right, which is that's the beautiful thing about these indicators is that they're dynamic. They react as the market moves because again, if they're not reactive, then that means they're not really giving you the real picture. As you see, as of right now, it's a thin blue dot. That means this is no longer a confirmed up climate, right? So this is a no. So that means, and look at this, it's on the eighth day out of typically 9 that this market goes up for. All right, so it's right at the end, at the tail end of this up climate. Could these run over the typical amount? Absolutely. And as the market kind of stabilizes in its up and down swings, instead of just the typical upward movement, we're going to see these standard deviations up and down normalize. As of right now, the nearest buy UFO, as you see the green UFO here, is 3872 to 3997.75. The nearest sell UFO is up above at 4432.75. Wow, sometimes 4509 is the nearest sell UFO. VIX is kicking up at 25.53%. So again, elevated volatility for this market. Again, anything over kind of the standard rule is anything over 15%. We consider as elevated volatility. Anything below 18%, that means things are calm with the S&P 500. Again, this is something that just is kind of an established rule. You could also adjust it based on what you typically see. All right, now if you want to educate yourself, we do offer the main asset classes, futures, stocks, and Forex. And of course, stay tuned for next month for the upcoming crypto courses. And of course, options is also in the works. So we are getting those established as well. We'll be getting them to you very soon. But not only that, something that I love about our channel is the fact that we also offer you the tools with which you need to apply every asset class with. So, having the knowledge for futures, for stocks, for Forex is great. It's empowering. Knowledge is always helpful. But you need specialized knowledge when it comes to the back testing of that knowledge, how to put it together in a trading plan, and what is the trading psychology that is anticipated of you as a trader to have in the back of your mind. So browse here, register for a course. Of course, any one of these courses come with a complimentary access to auto UFOs and auto climate itself. And that, in my opinion, is a huge bonus. So check it out. Let us know what you think. All right. Next market that we have today is crude oil. Crude oil, while it did take a beating yesterday, it's still kind of around that area where it closed. We do still have an up climate that is confirmed, that's been going for almost 2 times the typical amount. As you see, 12 out of 7 days that it's been going up for. We don't have any sell UFOs up above. This was the absolute highest that it has been since the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Based on OVX, 47.90% volatility. Again, this is not, right now, if I were to cut this like this, you might think that we're looking at Bitcoin, not crude oil right now, right? That's how volatile some of these swings are. Again, but this is mainly because the geopolitical and macroeconomic impact that this invasion has had on the overall supply and demand strain on crude oil. Currently, not much else to be said other than the fact that it's currently a crude oil current price is at or about the closing price of yesterday. That is a typical, pivot point that we need to watch out for crude oil. We're going to see how it's going to be moving today, but of course, the overall market's about -1%, more or less, on the S&P 500, negative quarter of a point on crude oil. Gold is up a little bit. So we're going to see how that all jives together when the market opens for crude oil in about 20 minutes or so. All right. Before we head into the next instrument, of course, if you are interested in the software alone, we do have it available for multiple platforms, as well as our very own platform, which I'll talk about in just a little bit. You can use this link here to subscribe to any of the apps. We do offer monthly or yearly memberships. And of course, that's also shared with you at the link down below here. Check it out. Again, if you want to skip the courses part and you want to go straight into the trading, this is the link to do that. Although I would definitely recommend you go through some of the training. All right, now, next one that we have here is gold. Gold is currently in a confirmed down climate. It is the second day out of typically 6, as we see down here below as well. We do have a sell UFO above at 2003 to 1962.7. The buy UFO that's currently approaching, that's already been tested once, 1834.8 to 1785, with one right below it as well. According to GVZ, 16.81% volatility. Something that I think I've pointed out a couple of times during our news flashes. This was around the point where the Russian invasion happened. The typical thought process is whenever volatility kicks up high, gold is usually the safe haven for people. It's not something that has been the case in this scenario because, as you see, even though the crisis has not been averted, gold went all the way up to the mid 2060s to 80s, down to the origin point of that entire move. All right, so if that was the typical case, this would just keep going higher because more people will be buying. But there are plenty of other assets, in my opinion, that might be a little more attractive when risk is high. All right, now if you need coaching or support, we do have that available as well. We have live trading sessions that are compatible with all time zones, and of course, this link will take you to the All Asset Advanced Coaching. All Asset Advanced Coaching essentially gives you access to any one of the instructors on our channel. If you want to set up a one-on-one meeting with any one of them, we are available. And of course, that may help you avoid some bad habits that you may not know you even have. So definitely reach out and see the power of having somebody else also help you out with your trading. All right. Next one here is the dollar index. All right. So the dollar is currently already touching into this upper UFO here at 108.805, 102.805 to 103.295. in an up climate, second day out of typically five. We typically see a reaction whenever there's a daily UFO that's been established. The dollar typically reacts to some extent to UFOs. Interesting to notice here, and I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. It came pretty close to touching before, ended up pulling down, and now it's testing it again. Of course, the UFO is still a dark red color right now because it's currently being tested. So we're going to see how this pans out. The climate, of course, has confirmed itself to the upside. So typically the climate does overpower UFOs, but sometimes a UFO is what will stop a climate and convert it into an unconfirmed climate. All right. According to EVZ, 8.7%, 0.57 for the day. That's that for the dollar index. All right. Last but not least is Bitcoin. But right before that, if you don't want to read this overview in your inbox, you're more than welcome to join us daily. This market commentary is broadcast live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, and of course our partner Tiger Trade. Of course, this link here will take you to the YouTube channel that we have, which I would appreciate if you can like and subscribe to it so we can just spread the word out a little bit better. And you can catch up on miscommentaries that my colleague Becky and I go through, and Jose as well, go through on the daily. All right, so next one that we're looking at is Bitcoin, and it's currently in an unconfirmed climate. This is the first one that we're seeing right now. It is selling off pretty hard right now. Although in full disclosure, I just closed two short positions on Bitcoin, so I'm okay. I'm happy. I took my money. This is just a highly congested area right now. Nothing that I want to be a part of. Taking small bits here and there is fine and dandy, but don't try to pick the tops and the bottoms. See what works, and then just do it over and over again. For you, 35,525, 36,445 is the nearest sell UFO. The nearest buy UFO is well down below here, 23,737 to 22,910. Elevated volatility, that's business as usual. If you're trading Bitcoin, you should know that. Of course, daily expected move 1386, which has already been reached, in my opinion. I think, negative $2,000. As of right now, Bitcoin sitting at negative 6% for the day, negative 2,000 even, which is an interesting round number. Okay, that's that for the instruments. Now, last but definitely not least is also the fact that we have our very own platform, Top. If you want to be a top trader, which is the Predictive Options Planner, learn more and subscribe using this link here. Top is a broker agnostic platform, meaning you can plug in different brokers into it, and you can use it to trade all assets. Think of Top as a professional platform available to you, a retail trader, that can have the potential power of such platforms available to you in a retail package, meaning all of the processing and all of the high end computing is done on the server side, so that way you can take this on a laptop that doesn't necessarily have to be one of those big bulky gaming laptops, which I'm currently in the process of buying for myself right now. Not a bulky one because, again, I don't need the computing power that I used to need back in the day. All right, as far as news for this week, we have quite a bit of it. Interest rate decision for Australia, GDP for Japan. These are already posted. GDP in Europe, interest rate decision also in Europe. Portugal Day in Portugal, so holiday for them. CPI in China. CPI in the US, unemployment rate in Canada, Michigan consumer sentiment in the US on Friday, and of course a couple of holidays on Sunday. And also, Holy Spirit Monday is Monday, and Orthodox Pentecost. So for all of my fellow Christian Orthodox folks, That's a big one coming up. And then Queen's birthday in Australia. All right, folks, it's been my absolute pleasure to present this session for you today. Hope you found it enjoyable, instructionable, and I will catch you next time. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye.